Santiago, Chile, where I start my South American adventure. I'm starting off here, then going into Mendoza, Argentina, before wrapping up in Buenos Aires. So I'm going to spend a couple of days here doing some exploring, looking at the sites. There's some interesting museums and churches here, hopefully a winery tour, and then it's across the Andes into Argentina. So here we go. While it's fall back home, I've got to get used to the idea that it's spring down here, and you can see the buds forming on the trees. Never seen that in October. Well, I just toured the Museum of Pre-Columbian Art, and it's a worthwhile stop to see all sorts of artifacts from ancient times throughout South America. Some very interesting stuff. You'll see the streets in central Santiago are filled with pedestrian-only zones, and a lot of people out on a nice spring day. Well, wouldn't you know it, I find the one hotel in Santiago that's 2 blocks away from the intersection of Canada and Quebec, and it's also right across the street from the French Embassy. Weird. Well, good morning. You can see the city center behind me. I'm standing atop the Rio Mapocho, the Mapocho River. You can see it's flowing rather rapidly, and well, it's springtime, so I guess that's the water coming down from the mountains and discharging into the ocean. Well, behind me you can see Cerro San Cristobal, which is St. Christopher's Mountain. There's a funicular you can ride to the top and get a good view of the city, so that's where I'm headed. Well, the Bella Vista district is hopping at night, pretty quiet during the day. This is where I came last night for a drink. All the bars have their tables and chairs set out, packed, very popular with the student crowd. Managed to get a liter of Escudo beer for 1,300 Chilean pesos. That's about $2.50. And then I went to a restaurant for a parrilla dinner where I had more meat than I think a butcher is legally entitled to sell to a single person in Canada. I had beef, I had chicken, I had sausage, I had a pork chop. Fortunately, there was a salad to go with it and a nice glass of red wine to wash it down. And it cost me 15 bucks. So cost of eating out here, pretty reasonable. Well, I made it to the top of the mountain. The funicular is out of operation, being serviced, so there's a bus that winds its way up instead. And now I've got a good view of the Santiago skyline. This city comes across as more old world than new. It reminds me more of Europe than of North America. It also reminds me of Mexico City, but with an easier pace. You can see it's a bit of a smoggy day out there, but the air quality is certainly better than in Mexico City. And this is a good way to get my bearings. Well, my first impression of Santiago is that it's a pleasant city. A little rough around the edges, but looks like a decent place to live and work. And this is a nice park which serves as an oasis right near downtown. Well, if you take the bus on the way up, you take the cable car on the way down. Well, here I am at the Vina Concha y Toro, which is a well-known winery just on the outskirts of Santiago. I arrived here by subway and by bus, so that's a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the tour here. see if they had those tables set up, I would take up marathoning as a sport. Well, I'm leaving after a successful tour. Got to taste a few wines, visit the Cave of the Devil. They get a lot of mileage out of that. And taste a few wines. I spent a bit of time at the wine bar, had a few more of their product and a nice cheese platter to go with it. And I'm ready to return to Santiago. Well, as I get ready to leave Santiago for Mendoza, I realized when I stepped out in the brisk air more than one time here that it's chilly. So indeed, yes, it's chilly in Chile.